Dead End Hip Hop album review. J.I.D, The Forever Story. We've done J.I.D before. This is his third studio album. He's from the east side of Atlanta. That's the bio. If you don't know about J.I.D, man, look, he signed to Dreamville. Go do your Googles. We've done Dreamville projects. We've done J.I.D projects. We've done projects where J.I.D is featured on. So definitely go back and listen to J.I.D because he's an amazing artist. And The Forever Story kind of plays on that first release, the Never Ending Story, if I'm not mistaken. That's
the Never Story.
The Never Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now this is The Forever Story. Initial impressions off of this project for me was a little interesting because I don't remember J.I.D talking about so much gun talk. Like whether it's him, depicting violence or, perceiving violence, or him talking about, like I'll literally smack you or do, violent things. I never really perceived J.I.D as that. So it was a little interesting hearing that throughout this project. But it didn't take away from what makes J.I.D special. J.I.D's special superstar ability is the flow and cadence. And that man demolished all of this stuff that was on here. The production on this thing is A1, and I think it really gave J.I.D that space to just go crazy. The first 3 tracks were crazy as hell. Galaxy, the way he came in with that, Radar, was ridiculous. With the beat switches, I'm like, dog, what the fuck going on here?
Man, his flow was fucking sick.
Ridiculous.
Shit, man. His flows was so fucking sick throughout this album.
And then it gets to Dance Now with him and Kenny Mason. Oh my God.
Wish you would have got a verse though. Kenny did all the hooks and stuff mainly for this on this album. I would have loved to got a Kenny Mason verse.
But he rapped on Just in Time, didn't he? Or that,
he did the hooks
just
for
did the
that
hooks
too.
on that one too.
He did the chorus for that one too.
Yep. Because it was just
J.I.D and Wayne that had the verses.
The joint that he had with Earth Gang, that was dope too. And it just
can't pump me, bitch.
Can't pump me,
can't pump me, bitch. Can't pump me, hoe. Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like that feels a bit like we know that J.I.D raps aggressive, but that felt like aggressive from like a street perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like representing Atlanta, and I was like, okay, that's different. The joint with Ari Lennox.
Can't make you change.
Yeah. Can't make you change. Yeah, Ari killed
She's
that
dope,
shit.
Man.
She did.
Yeah.
I ain't know she was dope like that though.
You didn't? You
I mean,
get
the way
that
she
from her first album?
those vocals like that. Well, I haven't listened to her first album in a long time.
Okay.
So that's probably why. But I expect the more subdued, laid back. I'm just sing the hook. Nah, she got into it.
She started singing, didn't she?
Hell yeah. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, nah. Is that him singing on Cody Blue 31?
Yes.
What?
Yes,
I didn't know he
him.
could sing either.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I had to look that one up. Yeah.
I did the exact same thing. I was like, who is that singing?
Yeah.
I went and looked it up too, and I was
shit.
like, oh, J.I.D can sing too?
Rapping
like,
and singing.
Sing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this new age singing. Like, he has a good new age, modern day singing voice.
And that production on that track was dope as hell too. It was a dope tribute too. That was a tribute. I think that Cody Blue 31 was a tribute song.
To who?
To a friend of his. A child had died. I think got killed or just died at a young age. And that 31 was his jersey number because he played football. So yeah, that was a tribute to.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Beezy. Who are the producers on here?
Crisco, I think that's his.
Yeah, Chris Cole.
Chris
I
Cole,
thought
yeah.
it was J. Cole at first.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, he did pretty much the majority of his production on here. Like, yeah,
He put his foot in that gumbo boy.
Yeah, he killed this shit, man. He killed this.
Yeah, he
shit.
did a few beat changes on here. It seemed like throughout the album. I don't know if that's like his signature style or not.
Yeah, on surround sound was dope because if you notice when the beat switched, he just slowed down the sample. Like the sample was slowed down very slow. If you listen to it again, like the first one you hear it, it's like okay, that's the same sample, Aretha Franklin sample that Mos Def used. Miss Fat Booty. But if you listen to the beat switch, it's slowed down. If you got, I'm telling you, listen to it again. I was like, holy shit! It's interesting that you mentioned about. You said the more gun talk. I feel like this is J.I.D, and I have to listen to Never Story again. But I feel like this is one of his most personable albums. Like, especially him talking about like his family and stuff like that. And a one gripe for me is I wish that they would have got that sample clearance for 2007 because I don't know if y'all heard that joint. He released it like a couple of weeks ago, but it didn't make. It was supposed to be the final track of the album, but it didn't make it because the sample clearances.
Oh, that makes sense.
And I'm telling you, if you listen to 2007, it kind of makes you mad because it's like this is the fucking perfect closer because he literally told the entire story of him. You know, him playing. He used to play football and stuff like that. So that's why you got a lot of football references throughout some of this album because he played football in college for real. So, but yeah, it just 2007 just told the whole fucking story. And the fact,
It's listed on certain sites, but it's not on Spotify.
yeah,
Okay, because I was
Yep.
going to ask why you said that makes sense.
yeah.
It makes sense. Like I saw the track listed as 2007, but I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So I just kept moving on with my
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I'm telling you, if you I guarantee y'all, if y'all listen to that track, y'all gonna be like, "Fuck, why he didn't put that? Why that the sample clearance?" But yeah, I love Stars with Yasser and Bey, man.
That was a good joint.
That production, I really feel like with this album, I think this is Jid's best album to date. I feel like he took a lot of risks and it kind of paid off, especially on the production side. I think
You really think he took risk production wise?
production was.
I feel like this was the pocket.
I did.
really.
Yeah, because
And I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying he took a risk and it paid off well because you're right. He was in his
I don't
pocket.
know. No, you go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I feel like a risk is something that is questionable and then it works out.
Right.
Like
Okay.
these
Okay.
beats were not questionable for Jid.
Yeah.
Like these felt perfect for him because his style is very energetic. He's like in let's say like in the tree of rappers of a Busta Rhymes. You know what I'm saying? Boisterous, out there, flamboyant, and like a spitter. And these beats were loud enough and then pulled back enough to allow him to be at the forefront. Like the beats never felt like they outshined him. Like they were amazing, but then he was even more amazing. Like, well, goddamn, we just got a whole bunch of amazingness happening. So I'm just saying, like it really felt like that, especially the first three tracks.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite like runs on this album was Cody Blue, Brother and Them, and Sister and Them. I feel like that was a great.
There's a lot of amazingness there. Yeah.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of
lot of
them.
them.
A lot of them. Of course, he talked about his brother, and I feel like Dirt was a cool feat. He sounded good. I mean, he wasn't like super amazing. Would you say? Oh. But yeah, I thought Lil Durk was cool. But yeah, I love Sister and Them because he kind of talks about like his love and appreciation for his sister, even though they kind of had like a falling out. And I can relate. I can relate to the part being close to my sister. We ain't had no falling out. But yeah, stuff about that about his family, I think I love the crank sandwich about him and his brother crack sandwich. About him and his brothers and sisters getting into a fight and they talking about it. Like, I feel like he definitely went like really personal. I love Dance Now Radar, man. The way that fucking his flow and beat switch and on Can't Pump Me. Like, cause Jid was rapping a one way at the beginning of the song, and then he started switching that shit up, going with the hi hats on the beat. I was like, this man here, man, is fucking amazing.
I do get what Ralph is saying though, as far as gun talk. There was a bit of gun talk on here. Not that the gun talk bothered me at all, because I mean the gun bars were nice.
Yeah.
Like the with my 9, I'm like 10 Avengers. Like he had a lot of
Snap
slap my fingers and Avengers. Yeah. So I mean, there were definitely gun bars, but it didn't seem like I didn't take them as like braggadocious, I'm gonna shoot you for no reason type gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it goes along with him being personal, because it seems like he was talking about something specific. But yeah, go ahead, B.
Oh yeah, Just in Time. Yes, Just in Time.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Lil Wayne, man.
What's all shit y'all was saying?
Lil
before?
Wayne, man.
About him being shaky? What's all that shit y'all was talking?
When? Who said he was
This
shaking?
was like what, last week? Y'all were talking about Lil Wayne.
Not
you know.
because I said I liked Lil Wayne featuring.
He
Y'all was like,
a little iffy.
It was. I think it was these
He
two.
was a
That's
little
why he ain't
shaky in
saying
spots.
shit. He behind the camera today.
No, Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I was waiting to bring that shit up.
That whole time scheme that he used in this, bro, I was like, oh
Lil
my
Wayne
God.
went the fuck off.
Yes, he had to though.
Man,
like,
he went
with
off.
the way he had to. I think he had
And it
to.
was dope how after he finished, Jid came back, but he took Wayne's flow.
Yes.
That shit was so fucking good, man.
Just in Time is definitely one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs. That's another situation I was telling you. I wish we would have had a Kenny Mason verse
oh
on
no,
there
100.
too.
Yeah, because he's perfect. He's perfect for that vein of rapping.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah, we needed a verse.
I feel like and hearing Kenny Mason and Jid on Stick off the mix, I feel like there should have been some rapping between them two, like some type of going back and forth.
They're one of the most dynamic duos that aren't a duo yet. You know what I'm saying?
Unofficial duo.
Unofficial duo, like Ransom and Rome Streets. Like to me, they're like that. Like they're just perfect together. Give them some dope beats, let them go.
Yeah.
Because they're so like they color so far out the lines that it's just like how much different can you get? And they push boundaries. And I think that those two artists would push themselves if they had a collab project. But I'm gonna get off my tangent.
Yeah, I want to say another thing I like about Stars too is that I can definitely hear it on that particular song on Stars that I can hear that Jizz, the voice, the way he was doing his voice, I'm like, that's some Kendrick inspiration I felt on that one.
When he was changing the pitch on his voice?
Changed the pitch on his voice and everything. I was like, oh, this feels like Kendrick off Damn like feel or whatever. Yeah, that's what it felt like for me on there. I mean, it's not a bad thing or anything. I just like, you can hear the inspiration. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool that you can tell he listens to Kendrick and he says it a lot on 2007. I'm gonna play this soon when we done with this review. But all right, that's all I gotta say.
Sonically, it definitely captured me. But listening to it, I was like, is there something a little bit more here? Because he started with Galaxy and felt like there was like this narrative or this story or something that he wanted to tell. It gave me some very Kendrick Lamar vibes with the intro, and then of course, you got the guy breaking in, talking about, oh yeah, you this, you that. So
you plastic, nigga.
Yeah, you plastic and stuff like that.
I think that was his dad, because in 2007, his dad was talking about when he, came back from college and then wanted to rap, and then I'm telling you, I'm gonna play 2007 once this. I'm telling y'all, it brings the shit so together, man. I hate this not on this album.
I really enjoyed most of the songs on here. I thought it started off really good with Radar, Dance Now. I was definitely disappointed there wasn't a Kenny Mason verse. I love the pairing with J.I.D and Earth Gang. Yeah, that shit was fucking nuts. We already talked about Ari Lennox. Of course, Yazin Bey. I mean, shit. I was hoping he rapped, and he did, and I was actually surprised by that feature. I never pictured them two working together like that.
It feels a little out of just... Yeah, let's just go grab him.
It worked though.
It did work. Yeah. And then to have Lil Wayne right after that, and I think that shows like, I guess maybe like the diversity and range that he has just as a rapper. He can rap with fucking anybody.
Yeah.
To go from fucking Yazin Bey to Lil Wayne to fucking all the way down to Baby Tate and Lil Durk. 21 was nuts, bro. Yeah, 21 killed this shit, bro. I was like, yo, this dude, man. And he sounded so good the way he just came in and
so
just
crazy how I wasn't a fan of 21.
Damn,
I am a fan of 21. That shit is crazy.
I know, man. I never thought it because I used to dog him, bro.
Yes.
But man, I've come a long way. But man, that sister in them though. That fucking damn Music Soul Child sample. And then it felt like there was an R. Kelly Your Body's Calling sample like towards the end, but I couldn't really pick up, like it felt like the melody was there, but if they weren't singing it in the same way. And so I was like, oh, or is it more of the Music Soul Child? And I think it was like in the Body's Calling, there was like a section towards the end where he kind of, it's in that sort of rhythm. Yeah. But then I remember the song and I'm like, but that one makes sense. Why would you take this particular reference and sample and sing it in that way, then to just flip and do something completely different? Right. So but either way, that shit was fucking dope, man. It was like 6 minutes long, but the way they did the sample was fucking crazy. And I think it followed up well with Can't Make You Change. And then I think it closed really, really good. I'm with you, man. I think that run, I mean, it has a
I mean, it's a lot of runs.
A couple of runs on.
I know it's some runs, but I mean, that was the one. Just off my first few listens, that was the run that stood out the most for me at first. Was that run of songs.
I do like Better Days. I don't know if I like that last track as a closer though.
Lauder 2.
Yeah.
What?
You too? What? I said I like it.
So I guess I'm
I like
solo. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful. The way it ended with the I don't know, Raven. How do you pronounce your last name?
Renee.
The way
Raven
she sang
Lene. Raven Lene.
Yeah. Is she a popular? I've never heard of her.
She's new. She's new, okay. But I just started listening to some stuff. It just popped up as a recommendation. I was like, oh. Man, yeah, I should have sent it to you. Her shit was good, bro. Oh. Yeah.
So what didn't you like about that one then?
I think it just really kind of brought everything kind of down.
Yeah.
And just kind of ended that way. It just felt like there was another track that was
there is
behind it. And I just, that's why when you said, oh, that makes sense, I was like, oh, so there was like this feeling that I was missing. Like that wasn't supposed to be the end of this album.
It felt, that's the thing. It felt like the end for me because it brought it down. It felt like a good closer because it was soulful. Like he did his spitterific shit at the beginning. And then he let them sing it out. And I was like, damn, this is a fucking perfect.
Because remember he ended Never Story with the Saint Lauder, but he was just he's just spaz. On this one, it was like he was kind of talking about something like he really.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got from this album. When you're talking about there's something more. This kind of just felt like him, not necessarily bringing his story to a close, but just kind of bringing the whole thing full circle about why these things happen, how they happen.
Yep.
And I'll just go ahead and like this is definitely to me. This is definitely his best work.
Oh yeah.
There's not a single song on here that I would skip. Like every song had incredible beats. All the beat switches were really nice. J.I.D is just unreal at this point. Like I feel like people should stop comparing him to other people, calling him the Atlanta Kendrick or the whatever this and with the new Andre blah blah blah. No, like this dude, you can definitely hear Kendrick's influence.
Yeah,
I don't think
nothing wrong with that.
It's not like he's not a version. Like this dude really feels very, very, very original. Like you hear Kendrick, you hear Dre, but you hear something different with this guy. But every song is just insane. All the features showed up to rap. I don't listen to Dirk like that. So his feature didn't really wow me, but it was cool. It was cool. There definitely wasn't bad. There was no bad features on this. And that's impressive. That's impressive for someone like a J.I.D. You know, and I think
can outshine people
very easily.
Yeah.
Very easily. And I feel like, yeah, sure, he may have outshined people, but it wasn't an embarrassing outshine.
Yeah. Right.
It wasn't like a why the fuck are you even here type of outshine.
And
it was
him
just
having a different type of features too. Like, you know what I'm saying? For it to still work.
Well, that's the thing with this album. I feel like, there's a nice variety on here. He's not just spitting over a whole bunch of loud beats. Like there's some pretty mellow stuff, like Can't Make You Change is a pretty mellow track, but he's still rapping. And even when it got to Stars, which I think was a beautiful song, but yeah, the whole time Yasin Bey was rapping, I was smiling. I was like,
yes,
we have not heard, not that he's been slouching or anything, but I don't feel like we've heard this version of him in a minute. And it almost seemed like he was having fun. There's really not much to say. This album is seriously incredible. It's really, I feel like you would have to struggle to find a rap fan that's just like, yeah, this is bad.
Right.
This is whack. This is mid, as the kids say. Like, nah, dude. Like, this guy is something special. He really, really, really is. He's really, really something special.
And I agree with you, Myke. I think this album definitely should shut up the people that's like, okay, this is like you said, Atlanta Kendrick. I feel like this album is definitely setting him apart from that.
Before I even listened to this, I was still seeing that, like on Twitter, like, oh man, this dude is like the South version of Kendrick, and I was like, oh, I wonder what he's doing with this album now. When I finally listened to it, I was like, okay, yeah, you hear the influence, but I don't hear a version.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? Nope. Like you hear, like I said, you hear the Dre influence, but I don't hear a version. I really hear someone that's doing something very, very, very special. And I'm so interested to see what he does after this, because this guy really can fucking rap. He's not just a double time rapper. He's not just a Southern rapper. Like, he's really special.
Do you feel that like this album changes anything for J.I.D? Like, does it change his career? Is it something that's being taught? Like, does it elevate J.I.D?
I feel like he was already being talked about. I feel like he's that guy that when he comes up in conversation, people are like, yes, that dude's crazy. He's the next that's gonna blow up. Da, 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 da. I think this just kind of solidifies that statement. Like if he put out a boring ass mediocre album, that conversation might have ceased. But I think that conversation is just gonna continue. I don't know if it's gonna blow him up, because I don't really hear a lot of commercial appeal from him like that. I just hear someone that if you like rap music, you're gonna enjoy this album. I don't even want to say it's a fun listen, but it's almost fun to listen to how this one guy is putting 38 flows in one track, but it doesn't sound like a big mess.
Right.
It's like he's like, the way he goes along with the beat sometimes is really nuts. I don't know if it's gonna blow him up or not. I don't know. I hope it does, because he deserves it.
No, 100%. And that's the reason why I was asking, because it's like I don't know how I feel, like, because it is an amazing album, but I haven't seen like a lot of people like say, hey, Feefo, like this shit is crazy. Y'all need to review
I have.
It.
But you don't really be on Twitter like that anymore.
No, not really. But
I got it a lot on Twitter.
Got you.
And that stuff takes time. I mean, look how long it took Kendrick. He had to put out project after project after project. He's still in the beginning, but that conversations are happening now.
The day this dropped, people were like, "Yo, you gotta hear this Jid." All right, bro.
Yeah,
And that's what he had to do
It was
because
hitting me up too.
people were asking like, when's that Jid album dropping? Blah 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 blah.
It was hitting me up.
Is he gonna drop? They were questioning of Dreamville and stuff like that. So and here it is, and you know the wait was worth it.
Yeah, no, it definitely.
You know, the Raven Lene. So this guy on Twitter, I want to shout him out. Mall 2392 recommended her to me, and I listened to it. And I was like, yo, this shit is good. But her album is called Hypnos.
Yeah, her voice, I really like her voice. It's very unique. It's I kind of like that high pitch that she has, but it just sounded so beautiful the way she was taking the track down. It was perfect. It was perfect. I almost don't want to hear 2007 now because I don't want to ruin the ending for me. But I know you're saying it's dope. I'm gonna check it out. But I think that Louder 2 was just a really good ending for this album. But man, my man Lil Wayne, I can't wait for this shit, boy. This guy, he started off a little shaky. And I was like, what's he doing? I was like, I don't know what he's doing. But when the verse ended, I was like, oh, he was just playing at the beginning. He was just playing around at the beginning. When he really started rapping,
he brought that shit.
Like, oh,
he brought that shit home.
He fucking rhymed time 38 times.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude is so dope.
Man, how the hell he do this?
It sounded really fucking good.
Yeah.
When he was rapping, I was really sitting there like, how do you write that? How do you write that? Because he's doing so many complex flows now.
Because he doesn't write it.
I don't know. I mean,
he's one of the greatest to do it, I believe.
I'm not one to say anybody's lying, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that somebody just walked in the studio and just did that.
They God, what's the word? Maybe that's lying, but
creatively exaggerated.
Yes.
Look.
I've heard rappers talk about that. Like they say it. They say it like that, but it's not really what they meant.
I'm not disillusioned to the point that, like, I'm not saying he walked in, spit that whole shit, and then just walked right the fuck out. Like, that's not his process. His process is he'll say a bar or two, and like he'll write it in his head. Like, he's not going through the whole thing. It's just that he's not physically writing it down.
All right, cool.
That's all.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't care either way.
It was dope.
I don't care either.
Regardless.
He said, "Golly." I don't care either way. All I know is this shit's dope. I don't give a fuck if he wrote it, didn't write it, memorized it, did a backflip and then spit it. I don't give a
Regardless,
shit.
it's impressive.
Regardless, that fucking verse was a lot of fun to listen to because I like all those fucking mid-sentence lines and shit that he did. But yeah, this is a great album. That's all there really is to say. This is a fucking great album.
So favorite tracks for me, give me Radar, Dance Now, Crack Sandwich. Give me Just in Time, and give me Surround Sound.
Give me Radar, Cody Blue 31, Brother and them, Sister and them, and fuck it, I'ma still say it. 2007. I'ma still say it.
Damn, he said it.
I'ma still say it.
You didn't think he was gonna say it, but he said it.
2007.
You didn't think he was gonna say it. You think he was gonna say something else, but he said it.
Cheater. Give me Sister and Them. Give me Surround Sound, Just in Time, Stars, and Can't Make You Change.
I'm going Radar, Crack Sandwich, Can't Punk Me, Stars, and Just in Time.
Jid, if you watching, bruh, like I always say with your projects, like, you outdid yourself, you executed. I don't think you've put out a project yet that is questionable. You know, I think that this is just adding to the long list, or the short list to become a long list of dope projects. You know what I'm saying? Third studio album. Obviously, I know you have more in you, but this is the way that you start a career. You know what I'm saying? You come out of nowhere, and then you follow that up, and you follow that up, and obviously I feel like there's pressure when the big homie is J. Cole, and you got the Boz and the Kaz and Earth Gangs, and you know you're part of this entity, and I think that sometimes people succumb to that pressure, but it feels like you are just very comfortable there, and like this album, I think something that Myke said, none of the features were bad at all. And that doesn't happen often. You know, we do a lot of music reviews, and sometimes we don't mention certain tracks because of that. But at the end of the day, bro, like, this is a really amazing project, and I only see up and up for you. You know, I don't know what the ceiling is or the plateaus you can get to, but this is definitely one of those things on that road to success. So thank you, J.I.D. Thank you, Dreamville.
Yeah, J.I.D, if you're watching, man, amazing work, amazing art. This is definitely your best work up to date. And I absolutely love your last 2 albums. So the fact that you kind of, you know, stepped it up even more on this album says a lot about your growth as an artist. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you're gonna do, how your growth keeps going from this point on as an artist. And yeah, man, just keep killing this shit, bro.
J.I.D, yeah, great album. Really enjoyed listening to it, and has a lot of replay value for me as well. You know, you do a lot here sonically, rap wise, to keep me interested, and I think that's dope as well. I think it's just a real good beginning to what should turn out to be a long career, with you really tapping into the creativity that you and talents that you have, because I didn't know you could sing like that. So there's like the door's wide open for you, bro. You know, it'll be interesting to see kind of where you take like everything you can do and how you mold that into like this career. But just getting back to this album, yeah, just amazing, great features, great production. Shout out to the producer that did most of this as well. I think you guys worked really, really well together. He did a good job of giving you right beats, and you did a good job of picking them. So good job, bro. I really enjoyed listening to this.
I don't have a lot to say. This record is incredible, J.I.D. I don't know how you have so many projects with this much high quality rapping. Like it's seriously impressive. It's crazy. And I read somewhere that you actually are about to do some mixtapes or something this year as well. So I don't know what you're trying to do to people, but this is some serious, really good fucking rap music, man. Really good rap music. So all I can say is congratulations. I hope you keep doing it. And amazing job.